Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another video with Halvonis. Now, in the last video we went over Death Knight Druid Hunter. This video we're going to be going over Mage, Monk, Paladin. Let's begin. Mage, prolonged exposure for the arcane talents. Passive, casting arcane missiles extends arcane power by 2 seconds. For the fire spec, kindling. Passive, your Fireball, Pyroblast, and Inferno Blast critical strikes extend combustion by 1 second. Frost, the Thermal Void. Passive, casting Ice Lance extends your Icy Veins by 2 seconds. Next on the ability list is Focusing Crystal, 40-yard range. Instant, 1 minute cooldown. Conjures a focusing crystal at the target's location, which is attackable only by the mage. The crystal will absorb the power of all the damage you deal to it. After 10 seconds, it will release bursts of energy, dealing damage equal to 130% weapon of the damage it took, split between all enemies in 8 yards over 6 seconds. That seems relatively good. That's an all-around good thing for the mage. It's gonna make them overpowered again, but, you know, hopefully the balance will fix out in that. And the final talent, Falling Stars. For Arcane Orb, instant, 5-second cooldown. Launches an Arcane Orb forward to the mage position, traveling up to 40 yards, dealing 1,000 arcane damage to enemies it passes through. Grants the mage an arcane charge every time it deals damage. Fire, Meteor. 1,000 mana, 40-yard range. Instant, 45-second cooldown. Calls down a meteor which lands at the target's location after 3 seconds, dealing 10,000 fire damage, split evenly between all targets within 8 yards. Also, burns the ground, dealing an additional 2,000 fire damage over 10 seconds to enemies in that area. And Frost, Comet Storm. 1,000 mana, 40-yard range, instant 30-second cooldown. Calls down a series of 7 icy comets and on and around the target, each of which does 2,000 damage, split between all enemies within 5 yards of the impact point. Again, that's a good, thing for doing AoE. Maybe you're power leveling a friend. Any of those things, they are basically considered a really good damage dealing ability for AoE. Monk. Vital Conviction for the Brewmaster, Soul Dance. Passive, you are now able to shrug off even spells, such that 30% of your normal stagger amount works against magic damage. That's pretty cool for tanks. Mistweaver, Detonate Chi. 1,000 mana, 100-yard range. Instant. Causes your healing spears to instantly trigger, healing all of the nearest allies within 6 yards. Oh, that's awesome. Windwalker, Hurricane Strike, 15-yard range. Instant 45-second cooldown. Unleash a rapid series of kicks dashing between enemy nearby targets, dealing 14k damage to them over 30 seconds. While kicking, you are immune to all damage and effects. Chi Explosion. 1 Chi, 40-yard range. Instant. Comes up to 4 Chi to cause the target to explode with Chi energy, causing additional effects based on the Chi consumed. Brewmaster. 1 Chi deals 2,500 nature damage to the enemy. 2 Chi. You gain Shuffle for 6 seconds. 3 Chi. Purifies all your staggered damage. 4 Chi. Damage also hits all enemies in 8 yards of the target. That is for the Brewmaster spec. Mistweaver. 1 Chi. Heals an ally for 2,500. This heal also heals all allies within 8 yards of the target. Also summons 8 healing spheres in 8-yard radius ring around the target. Healed allies are also healed for an additional 800 over 6 seconds. And for the Windwalker talent, Chi Explosion, 1 Chi does 2,500 nature damage to an enemy. 2 Chi. Damaged enemies also take an additional 1,500 nature damage over 6 seconds. 3 Chi also generates a charge of Tiger's Eye Brew. 4 Chi, the damage also hits all enemies within 8 yards of the target. And Serene Mists for the Brewmaster and Mistwalker. Chi Serenity. Instant. 1.5 minute cooldown. You enter a state of mental and physical serenity for 10 seconds. While in this state, all chi consumptions are instantly refilled. Mistweaver. Soothing tendrils. Passive. Your shooting mist now also chains up to 2 additional allies within 15 yards of the last ally, and has a 50% higher chance to generate chi. All around good changes for the monk, and to the paladin. So, on the paladin we have the Light Within, Holy, Bastions of Light. Passive, Beacon of Light cannot be placed on 2 targets. Protection and Retribution. Empowered Seals. Passive. Your seals also cause your judgment to empower you with an additional beneficial effect. Judgment of Justice. Increases your movement speed by 10%. Judgment of Insight. Heals you for 3% of your maximum health every 2 seconds for 20 seconds. Judgment of Righteousness. Increases your attack power by 10% for 20 seconds. Judgment of Truth. Increases your attack power by 10% for 20 seconds. Seal of Faith. 623 mana cost. Instant. Fills you with Holy Light, causing you to gain faith equal to all damage dealt. Faith acts as a spell power towards your next healing spell you cast. In Holy, while Seal of Faith is active, all damage dealt is increased by 30%. Protection and Retribution. While Seal of Faith is active, all damage dealt is reduced by 30%. So for tanks, that's definitely something you're going to want to take, because that's a guaranteed 30% each time you have it active. Divine Conviction. Holy. Saved by the Light. Passive. When you are in beacon, when you or your Beacon of Light target drop below 30% health, you instantly grant the injured target a protective shield, absorbing it for 30% of their maximum health for 10 seconds. You cannot shield the same person this way twice within 30 seconds. Protection. Holy Shield. Passive. Increases your block chance by 10% when you block. You deal 2,000 holy damage to your attacker. Retribution. Final Verdict. 3 holy power. Melee range. Instant. Requires melee weapon. Empowers your weapon with holy energy to perform a devastating strike, dealing 250% weapon damage as holy damage. Replaces Templar's Verdict. And that's all for this section. In the next section, we're going to go over Priest, Rogue, and Shaman. And then in the section after that, we'll do Warlock and Warrior. I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and I hope it's insightful for you. We're going to see you guys in the next episode, and I got challenged to a duel that I'm not going to accept. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoy it. I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.